everyone! Today I'm going to share with you how to make this traditional dark fruitcake with options for gluten-free and vegan diets. So I'm adding 1/4 cup of dark brown sugar. You know me, I'm not really taking measurements here. And now we're going to cream these two together. I like to just mash it a little bit first, and we'll start it up and cream this together. Now once you've creamed your butter and sugar, you can add in 1 egg. And if you don't want to use an egg, you can use a flax egg. And you can look that up online to have the proper proportions for 1 egg. But if you're adding a flax egg, you're also going to want to double up on the baking soda because we need this for rising as well. So we'll add our 1 egg or flax egg. And then we'll go ahead and mix this into the creamed butter and sugar. So now I'm going to sift in 1/2 cup of flour, and I'm going to mix it and alternate it with some dark brewed organic coffee. Now I am using quinoa flour. You can use any flour, like regular flour, or if you want to do gluten-free, you can use quinoa flour. Works very well for this because it's nice and spicy. So it offsets the little bit of earthy flavor of the quinoa. So we're going to use 1/2 cup flour. And for the 1/2 cup of flour, I'm going to add about 1/8 teaspoon of baking soda. And if you use the flax egg, you can double that and have 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. I'm going to mix this through and sift about half of it in. Now you want your oven preheating on to 325. So turn your oven on 325 and get that preheated. So put about half of it in here, and then we'll blend again. I'm going to scrape that down with a spatula. And then we want a total of 1/4 cup of dark brewed coffee. I'm just going to add a little tiny bit in there now. Then I'm going to go ahead and add the other half of my flour and baking soda mix. And another little bit of that coffee to bring it up to about 1/4 cup. Now I can also add in my cinnamon, which is going to be about 1/2 teaspoon. Cinnamon and some crushed cloves. There we go. Give that a stir. Okay, now it's 1/4 cup of black strap molasses to go in here. And this cake is pretty sweet. I said I don't eat this. And that's about 1/4 cup there. And this is a really good blackstrap molasses. And give that a stir. And I'm going to scrape that down. Okay, now we will add in our fruit mix. This is a very dense cake, Ooh, that smells boozy. Now, if you don't drink alcohol, there is an organic rum flavoring you can buy, and I'll link that. And I have some chopped pecans here, and again, if you can't eat nuts, then you can chop up some sunflower seeds perhaps, or, you know, just leave it out altogether if you can't have it. I'll just throw them in there. And that was probably 8 or 10 pecan halves chopped up. Well, that's pretty much it. Now you want a really well greased baking pan. The last one I made, I did it in a springform pan. And I didn't have a bundt pan, but I wanted it bundt shaped, so I used one of these and put it in the center of my springform pan upside down like this, and then poured my batter in around, and it worked out perfectly. So you can use that, or pretty much any pan you have. I'm going to use the loaf pan for this one. I would suggest lining it with parchment paper or something, because it's probably going to stick, but we don't really care about this one. This was the leftover ingredients. It won't rise up a whole big lot because it is a dense cake. So here it is, and we'll just pop this into the oven on 325 for about 40 minutes, and then we're going to leave it in the oven to rest for probably another 10 to 15 minutes. So here's the one I made previously using a springform pan and one of those small glass dishes in the middle to make it like a wreath shape. And now let's take our other one out of the oven. So here it is out of the oven, our dark fruitcake. Now I'm just going to tip it out onto a platter, drizzle it with another little bit of coffee, and we're ready to eat it. So here it is. It wasn't too hard to make, and the house certainly smells like Christmas when you have a dark fruitcake on the go. And I made the fruit, and everything's all organic, and you can alter the recipe for a gluten-free or a vegan diet.